Let's talk about digital ID and the huge problems and risks that come for humanity if we don't stand together and resist it. Earlier this year, Keir Starmer came out and said we need a digital ID to stop illegal immigration. The same illegal immigration problem that the government facilitated by making billions of pounds worth of deals with taxpayers' money, with hotels to house the migrants. There were many councils and MPs actively trying to stop this as long ago as 2022, but no one listened because it is all part of their long-term plan. Look up the Clergy Plan.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
This soon turned into you need the digital ID to work, to get your own money out of your bank, and even needing it to have a pint in your local. Then out of nowhere, it was to make sure the government could know who had been vaccinated against any upcoming pandemic, as we would need multiple shots.
You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come on down the line will be there'll be multiple shots.
And when this lying Zionist warmonger, Blair, was pushing it, it was interesting to see his son owned one of the companies that they were trying to get the government contract to facilitate the digital ID. But if we're going to talk about pandemics, we can't not touch on Convid that we all lived through. We were told people were dropping dead in the streets in Wuhan from human contact of this terrible virus. Remember seeing pics like this? Whereas the only people we know who did drop dead were fit athletes who ended up getting vaccinated. We were getting laughter in our faces. The duper's delight was clear to see from Matt Headcock here.
Well, it's just, it's been such a tough year for so many people. And there's William Shakespeare putting it so simply for everybody that.
And this piece of work telling us what to do, Chris Whitty. He does not look like someone you'd want babysitting for you. I think someone needs to check his hard drive. And who let this lunatic loose with billions of syringes filled with God knows what? I wouldn't let this head case loose with a Nerf gun, let alone a worldwide vaccine programme. He is unhinged.
I mean, and we're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein. Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
And we can't touch on COVID without forgetting the financial crimes that took place, and there was a lot. Billions, if not trillions, of taxpayers' money siphoned off to their mates. Same old story with these lot. And don't get me started on track and trace. Billions down the drain. Funny how the government never had any money to do anything positive, but when it involves billions going to their mates in a legally handed out contract, it's like they have a money tree all of a sudden. Makes you wonder if the track and trace system was the foundations for the digital ID. Now let's fast forward. When I saw Netanyahu say this the other day.
And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy, he's a friend. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. The weapons change over time, but we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media.
I realised we're in a war of the minds and they are losing. Times are changing. People are waking up to the deaths caused by COVID and the joke lockdown was, and realise the digital ID is a push from the same people with the same goals. Old Klaus Schwab and his army of traitors pushing this WEF Agenda 2030 and trying to turn us into China with a social credit scoring system and centralised digital banking that the state can turn off whenever they wish if we don't do as we are told. We realise we need to get active and do some real grassroots journalism. Get people talking, living out of fear and not afraid to stand up and speak for themselves and their communities. There are many of us that can see now we have to open the eyes of others within our communities. I fully get that people are concerned about the mass migration issue, but it is a planned elitist agenda, Zionist ideology. that if they can water down a country's traditional morals and values while causing up hysteria and a divide between the communities and religions, cultures, then a nation is a lot easier to control. And I mean a lot. So let's get mad at the person who turned the tap on, not the water on the floor. So what can we do? Keep cash alive. They cannot fully implement their plan if we can freely trade and barter between ourselves. Get cash out the cash point and only shop at businesses that support it. And try to avoid all corporations and shop with local businesses where possible. We want to try to attack this beast spiritually, mentally, and politically, starting with grassroots politics that are free from secret societies, agencies, and people who are pretending to be representing us whilst representing the cabal. We also need to have a massive push as a community towards self-sufficiency, so we don't have to be spoon-fed by these pieces of work, but one step at a time. Just start with a herb garden or some tomatoes, anything. Let's get back to realising the earth can supply us with everything we need. At the minute, eyes on the prize of refusing this digital ID, being brave and standing up for our communities and families. They will try to make you sign up for it, to go to the doctors, use your banking, receive benefits, any way they can. Stand tall, stand firm, and keep speaking your truth. There is a great awakening happening as we speak, and we are privileged to be living through it. Love, light, and keep speaking and living your truth. See you soon.